So how do we work with self-esteem issues using the therapeutic coaching framework? So let's first define what we mean by self-esteem or self-worth. What we're really talking about is how someone perceives themselves. Now, sometimes people can have inflated self-esteem. That's often an overcompensation for a sense of deficiency. What you'll often work with is people that have a lower opinion of themselves than is actually objectively accurate. It's that someone's learned to see themselves in a negative way. So we in therapeutic coaching talk about two different types of self-esteem. The first is innate self-esteem. This is the really product of how we are related to in childhood. Are we taught that we are loved? Are we taught that we are valuable? Are we told that we're loved? Do our caregivers spend time with us in a way that shows us that we're valuable, that we're important? This type of innate self-esteem is really the product of how we are cared for in our environment. We then have earned self-esteem. This is the self-esteem which is the product of our own choices and actions in our life. That when we do things that we're proud of, then that grows our sense of value. When we do things that are challenging or things that are difficult, that grows our sense of, wow, yeah, I did that. I can do these challenging, difficult things. When it comes to working with self-esteem, we find it's helpful to map the issue, to work out which of these and sometimes both of these have been impacted, because that then changes how we work with what's going on. If we're talking primarily about deficiencies in innate self-esteem, a lot of the intervention is looking at how the client is relating to themselves. So, for example, when feelings and emotions come up, are they welcome or are they rejected? When one has wishes, things that are important in the world, are they valuing that or are they pushing that away? By learning how to have a more caring and more loving a relationship with oneself, one can grow that sense of innate self-esteem, that we learn to become the loving, caring caregiver that we didn't have. And by working with the client to cultivate that, you can grow, you can build their sense of innate self-esteem. When it comes to earned self-esteem, that comes from facing challenge. That's where we need to work with our clients to grow their sense of their own self-confidence. And that sometimes comes from putting themselves in challenging situations that they grow from. That one builds self-respect through action, not just through affirmation and changing one's internal dialogue, but actually changing one's actions in one's life. It's also worth saying that self-esteem shows up in some different ways. It shows up, yes, in one's relationship with oneself. It also shows up in one's relationships with other people. How do we let other people treat us? If we have a low opinion of ourselves, we don't expect much from others in terms of how they treat us. We also have our relationship with the wider world. Is the client constantly comparing themselves to other people and then making themselves feel smaller or judging oneself in comparison? So we need to map the issue. Where are those self-esteem issues showing up? And then in therapeutic coaching, we're working both with the mind. So what's the cognitive, what's the narratives, the belief systems, the stories? We're then working with the feelings, the emotions, like, are they making space for their feelings? Are those feelings welcome? And also working with the body. What's being held? What's trapped? What's being stored? And so helping someone to grow their self-esteem is not about one thing. We've got to effectively map the issue to figure out in that person what are the origins of the self-esteem issues. Then we need to work to grow the innate self-esteem and to work to grow the earned self-esteem. I hope that's been helpful. If you want to see some therapeutic coaching in action, particularly working with some issues around self-esteem, you can check out my sessions in Therapy with Alex Howard on my YouTube channel in the series Working with Belle, where you'll see me work with her working to understand her self-esteem issues and ultimately working to grow her sense of self-worth. If you'd like to find out more about training to become a therapeutic coach, you can go to therapeuticcoaching.com, where you can book a free discovery call to find out more about the training. Hope that's been helpful. Thank you for watching.